When you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, just because somebody has a real estate license does not mean that they are equipped to sell a property. Hello, Michael from Michael Robe and Associates, and today's Tales from the Transaction is actually a fairly recent transaction. So recent that it's actually still going on. But something happened yesterday that I really wanted to bring to everybody's attention, something that I talk about all the time, which is hire a professional when you're buying or selling real estate. And just because somebody has a real estate license doesn't mean they know what the hell they're doing. Okay, I'll tell you right now, what I learned to get my license has absolutely nothing to do with what I do for a living. What I do for a living, I had to get my own training and learn on my own. So not everybody is good at real estate. So let's talk about this particular transaction. So I have a buyer right now that purchased the property or is in escrow on a property out in the East County, and just the far out East County. He owns multiple properties here in San Diego. And he's a young guy and he's got some really interesting ideas and dreams. And this property is in an incredibly majestic setting. It's absolutely beautiful. And there's multiple homes on the property. The original buyer purchased this property a little over a year ago, and he's an older gentleman, and he had the idea of possibly making it into a wellness retreat, Airbnb, all of that. But sadly, he hired a friend and did not do his due diligence on this property. And it's not his fault. He didn't know, okay? He didn't have somebody guiding him through this. And it has now turned out that not only is this project much larger than he thought it was going to be, there's now some county permitting issues, and he's kind of just thrown in the towel. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore. My client, all for it. Young guy, he's willing to have a fight with the county, and so he's pretty excited about this. So let's get to exactly what we are talking about. So this gentleman purchased this property, and yesterday we were doing our physical inspection on it. And as we were going through it, it's a large property, so we were there for quite a long time. And you could see as this was going on, he was getting more and more concerned. And his agent was not there. So as he's asking more and more questions of my inspector, I asked him, I said, hey, didn't all this stuff come out when you had the house inspected? And he looked at me and he goes, I did have an inspection. And I was kind of speechless for a second. I mean, what do you mean you didn't have an inspection on it? And his agent's not like a new agent. She's been in business for like 30 years. And he's like, no, we didn't do an inspection like this. And so I don't know of any of these items. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing like super dramatic, but it is going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of items that should have been called out the first time he bought this property. And these are items he had no idea about. So much stuff he found out for the first time yesterday. And so the whole point to this is, when you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, just because somebody has a real estate license does not mean that they are equipped to sell a property. This is something I talk about all the time. Your average real estate agent, over 70+% of agents here in San Diego last year sold 0 properties. Not a single home did they sell. That doesn't make them unlucky. That makes them dangerous, okay? So you want to hire a professional. You want to hire somebody that has a marketing plan, somebody that has an idea of how to guide you through the purchase of a transaction. And sadly, this gentleman hired somebody that did not guide him through a real estate transaction. Collected a paycheck, but did not guide him through a real estate transaction. And now it's going to end up costing him thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you'd like to have some more information about this or like to have a conversation, if you think about buying or selling, point being is hire a professional, hire Michael Robe. If you'd also like to get a free report that I've put together about questions and things that you should ask a real estate agent prior to hiring them, whether buying or selling, just call me directly or text me free report and I'll send it out to you. You can reach me, call or text at 619-701-0309. Just put free report in the text message and I'll make sure to get this out to you ASAP. It's information everybody should have. And the truth is, you should never, ever spend this much money without having professional representation. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. We have free over-the-phone consultation. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. See you next time on Tales from the Transaction. Hey, if you like the content that we're providing, please click like and subscribe here below.